Second half action kicking off here between the undefeated 7-0 Grand Rapids Rampage and the 6-1 Utah Blaze. There you see it right there on the screen. I don't know why my stream elements has been so late lately, because we are 25 minutes into this episode and it's just now popping up. But for those of you tuning in on YouTube to this second episode, there you go. This is the first time in a long time we've had a competitive game going up against a rookie quarterback. And you might say, well, hey, you're going up against a 6-1 team. Of course the game's going to be competitive. No, as LA Knight would say. Because we've had games against 4-0 teams, and we had a game last week against a 5-1 team, and we smoked both of them. Wasn't even close, so I don't want to hear any of that. But we'll see what happens in the second half, because Utah has been keeping it competitive. Rookie court. Oh, it's a fumble. There we go. And it's gonna, oh, come on, somebody get it. Picked up by Willis Marshall. He has not been touched yet. Finally, Marshall gets dragged down. He could have scored a touchdown off of that. So rookie quarterback Derek Gaffney. And you're seeing Justin Cleveland right now getting a mouthful. I guess he missed an assignment on the block, but how about that coming out? And that was a big turnover, a big stop, as they call them in the indoor football world, for the Grand Rapids Rampage, the first turnover of the game for the Rampage. And we will, as I say, we can take our first lead of the game with a touchdown here. Lonnie Ford not able to get into the end zone. Wow, what a turn. That was so big to get that turnover here. And touchdown, Corey Fleming. And for the first time, that's right, as weird as that sounds, for those of you that have watched this team over the last 6 weeks, for the first time this game here in the second episode, the Grand Rapids Rampage have the lead. The first 2 drives, they didn't score any points. They had like one positive play in those first 2 drives. It was 35-31. So now we see how the Utah Blaze will respond. And there's another Cleveland. That is Nate Cleveland. I wonder if there's any relation to Justin Cleveland that just got completely yelled at by the head coach there. Maybe so. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Do you know the Cleveland brothers? My name is Cleveland Brown. All right, Gaffney stepping back. Plenty of time and delivers. Leonard Sampson has got a touchdown earlier in the game. Here you see it right on cue. Thank you, Stat Boy. I think we got Tony Reale here. I don't know if the Stat Boy throwing up the stats, but this Derek Gaffney is not going to let that turnover get. Oh my God! And Simpson again. This here you knew. I mean, arena football, and boy, we got some trash talking on the field. Joe Jacobs had to get pulled away. You knew that we weren't going to be able, and there you see the numbers. 39 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for the rookie quarterback. They got a future, does Gaffney here in Utah. How did he make that catch? Are you kidding me? Leonard Simpson could not be any more covered than what he was, and he still made the catch. So Utah goes back on top, and you knew, I mean, that was a fun 6-week winning streak, but you almost knew arena football, you weren't going to be able to keep winning by 30 points every single game. At some point, I was even shocked. I mean, you were hearing me in the Vegas game, in the Colorado game, just being like, can this keep going? Can this winning streak just keep going? It just seems like it was impossible that it even went that long. It has finally, on this Thursday, come to a close. But the thing that keeps benefiting us is Utah keeps booting the ball out of the back of the end zone, which has given us the football at the 20-yard line. I'm not sure who I have to look at the number of the kicker next time to get a name, so I can call him out. I want to say Travis Cole, perhaps, but I'll try to look next time. Stafford just gets rid of the football, and Damian Grosh. We actually have pass interference against Porter. We'll decline that, Alvin Porter. This is classic arena football right now. The shootout, the back and forth, the touchdowns. SK Money, if he was here, he'd be seeing a good one. Touchdown, Fleming. Let me see if I can get SK Money on here. Texting SK Money. Missing a good game. Because every time, he's never seen arena football. I got to get him on the arena football. I tried to get a coworker today. I was talking arena football, and they just shut it down. They said, no, I don't have time for that. But SK Money has been seeing nothing but blowouts, so this is a chance to see a classic arena football shootout right now. Now Utah's got to answer, and it's going to come down to either who scores last or which team makes the mistake. Because if Utah makes one more mistake, then they're down by 2 scores the rest of the game. When you start getting into those later hours, later minutes here of arena football, it really starts to tear you up a little bit. Gaffney played a brilliant game. Probably one of the more competitive, the most competitive quarterback other than week 1 against Columbus that we have dealt with. We got a couple of Clevelands out there. It's Nate Cleveland. Gaffney is sacked. Joe Jacobs. You saw Jacobs getting in the face of some players. He's fired up. And how about a sack coming in there? It's a rarity as well. Utah broken the 35-point barrier. That has only happened twice this season, but maybe that'll be it. There's that mistake. Corey Fleming, and again, Cleveland, I don't know what's happening. Him and Coach, sack. Him and Coach they've been at it. They have been at it in this game. The X factor has not been Cleveland. Stafford just throws that one away. Well covered by the Utah Blaze. WX man, you missed my question earlier. Do you have a favorite arena football team? What about from the new Arena Football League? What's your favorite team? I was going to be a Chicago Rush fan because that was my original team, the Rush and the Storm. I've gone over it before, the Rush, the Storm. Then when the Rush went away, I went with the LA Kiss. When the Storm went away, I went with the Empire. And then when I switched to the IFL, the Barnstormers. And I was going to be a Rush fan. No, Orlando Magic, that is a NBA. Although the Orlando Predators, maybe that's what you're thinking of. Yeah, I want to go to a Predators game this year. Can make the drive up. Stafford, Fleming, do they give him the first down? So now it's decision time. Because a field goal only makes it a 6-point game, which is still like nothing for arena football. I think that's the correct call. We got to go for it. 4th and inches for the Grand Rapids Rampage. You know the Toledo Bullfrogs were going to be an arena football team, but they never made it. Google Toledo Bullfrogs football. They have a really cool logo. 4th down here, and Damian Grosh, the grocery store. Great value, touchdown. That may have clinched it for the Grand Rapids Rampage here. But yeah, look up the Toledo Bullfrogs because they were a planned arena football team, but they never quite made it to the field, almost like the Columbus Wild Dogs of the IFL that haven't played yet. All right, end of the third quarter, 49-38, Rampage over the Blaze. While we're at the halfway point of this one, remind you of all the places you can help support TV Sports 27. If you want to live chat with us, have your chat show up for history, join us on Twitch. That's where we are right now. We'll upload the episodes to YouTube and Patreon, so there you have it. See how the Blaze responds. Snows a lot in Grand Rapids. Yes, it does. It sure does. I don't think I can survive there. That's why they're playing in the nice, cool, comfort, the confines of the Grand Rapids Arena right here. looking for their second Arena Bowl in history. Gaffney. Now we're starting to see Gaffney here. Those are what the quarterbacks did in that 6-game blowout winning streak, where they were getting flustered. Public transportation, I'm telling you. We're a drivable country. That's right. We invested in the highway system, and we can't escape. We're indebted to the auto industry. Can't get out. $500 a month for insurance, car repairs. Terrible. Gaffney steps up. 3 terrible plays for the Utah Blaze. Of course they won't let it happen. They're making too much money. They just raise everyone's rates every month. We're in too deep. It's like the mafia. They're too indebted to the mafia and they can't get out. There's the kicker, Tony Dodson, who can't seem to kick the ball inbounds on kickoffs. That keeps giving us good field position. That was pretty brutal. Damian Grosh goes up and over. Well, lawyers, they keep you, they keep you ahead of the bad companies, I suppose. Auto companies, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them all just go away. They don't do anything. It's a terrible experience. That's why Carvana got really popular for a while. You try to go buy a car and they just try to upcharge you. At least at Hyundai, I got a lot of the stuff taken off, but man, my last car buying experience, it was just nickel and dime you left and right, like renting from an apartment complex. Everything you do, they nickel and dime you. Stafford. What a comeback this would be. Going up by 3 scores with 1 more score, and would end the hopes of the Utah Blaze. I wouldn't even call it an upset because they're 6-1. But it would pretty much be, and we said 35 points has kind of been where our defense has not really let opponents get past. Very few teams have gotten past 35. Utah will be the 3rd, and that's where they have been completely shut down. As the Grand Rapids Rampage score is going to be Damian Grosh, who's had a big game. And with 3 minutes to go, unless Utah's got a crazy comeback in them, the scoreboard is going to look like another 30-point blowout. But this one was way more competitive. Stay right where you are, because after this one, if you're watching with us on Twitch, if you're watching with us on Patreon, we're going to look at the first half stats, because we're going to be 8 weeks into the season. Half the season will be done. So we're going to take a look at all the stats, and then we're going to play one more game. We're going to play against the Chicago Rush. So get ready. We need to get the X Factor, WX Man. Let's get the X Factor on one of these streams. You get him on. James Hill, right? 56-38. Gaffney dumps it off to Simpson, and he is just not seeing the ball anymore. The confidence that he had in the first half, winging the ball down the field here or there. Maybe he's thinking about all the lack of public transportation in Utah. I don't know. I don't know what Utah's transportation system's like. I've never been to Utah. Gaffney, gets hit again. These last couple of drives have been completely awful for the Utah Blaze. 3rd and 11, and this is a must-have right now. Gaffney trying to find Lawrence Samuels. There's Chris Angel. And on 4th down, they got to go for it. They are going to. Are you kidding me? They are not going to go for it. This is 4-down territory, if you ask me. The lefty, Tony Dodson, is going to try a deep kick. Yeah, I'm not sure about that decision right there. Fans and watching in Utah, they're going to be questioning that. Well, where was the Utah Blaze headquarters? Let's see. They didn't last too long. Them and the Austin Wranglers are kind of... Oh, they're in Salt Lake City. Okay. They lasted from 06 to 08, and then they came back in 2010 to 2013. So I didn't realize they came back for that second run. Hello, WX man. Where's the get SK Money on here? Where's SK Money? He's missing a good one. So the Utah Blaze. You want to know some Utah Blaze history? We get some list of seasons here. Of course, like I said, they had one of the greatest quarterbacking seasons of all time, Tommy Grady, who, let me give you those numbers for Tommy Grady, what he did with Utah. He played with the Utah Utes, oddly enough, and the Oklahoma Sooners. He actually didn't have a very long college career, very short college career. But I'm going to hit you with some numbers here. So, Tommy Grady, first year Oklahoma City threw for 4,000 yards, 81 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Then his first year with the Blaze, he threw 4,000 yards, 107 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I want to go to the Bucs game when the Broncos come to town next year. They're coming to Raymond James and late, or I don't know when. They have the schedule, whenever the schedule comes out, but they are scheduled to come to Tampa. I do want to go to that. Let's all go. Let's plan it. Me, you, SK Money. I'll be married by then. We'll all go to the Bucs-Broncos game. Maybe the Broncos have their new uniforms. This is the big one. This is the famous season for Tommy Grady. The 2012 season, 5,870 yards passing in arena football. That's a 50-yard field. 5,870 yards, 142 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. 142 touchdowns, nearly 6,000 yards passing. That was the famous year, and then he would go on to play with the Jacksonville Sharks after that. Had another 100 touchdown season with the Pittsburgh Power, throwing for 115, and then would win those couple of titles with the Albany Empire. Not only in the Arena League, but in the NAL as well. I'm not seeing a list of... Well, Danny White, maybe that's the coach that's been angry that we were looking at. But I'm not getting a list of Utah Blaze seasons. Oh, here it is. Utah Blaze seasons, the history of 7-9, 8-8, 6-10, 11-3, 2-14, 9-9, 12-6, 7-11. Those were their... And they went to the conference championship in 2012, losing to Arizona 75-69. That was their only deep playoff run. They lost every other playoff game they were in the first round. Their only playoff win was against the San Antonio Talons, 35-34, where they would go on to the Arizona game. So they put up 35 points in the win and then scored 69 points in a nice loss. Oh, there you go. There's a little Utah Blaze history for you guys. They lived hard, died young, but here they are, about to fall to 6-2. Sorry for them. Gaffney, wide. Oh, Samuels.
Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct number 8.
Wait, a personal foul? Personal foul called on Corey Fleming? Cycle. Where is he? So you have to switch the player in the replay. You can't. There he is. What the heck was personal foul about that? Are they saying because he dropped the ball that the play was over and he got hit after the play? Oh my God, a terrible call. Shane Stafford, as always, going to be your player of the game. What the heck kind of call was that? And they're going to get a first down out of this. They're going to get a touchdown out of this. Leonard Simpson. Oh, that's just an all-time terrible call. The only thing I can guess is because he dropped the football that the officials blew the play dead, and they said that hit was late. The Grand Rapids coach that I was thinking of that was in this game, Sparky McEwen. Sparky. He is currently the coach of Davenport, which is a Division II school, as I said, so I was correct. I did remember all the factoids. They got a cool logo. Davenport Panthers. Go look up the Davenport Panthers logo. That's a very cool logo. Coached the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs for a time as well. So there you go. That was a cool name. They didn't last too long either. They were in the new Arena Football. Touchdown. Damian Grosh could have made a claim to be MVP the way he's played. But per usual, we're going to hit our 60-point barrier. Oklahoma City Yard Dogs played in the AF2 from 04 to 09. And then they played 1 year in the AFL after the assets were bought out. They had some cool unis, though. That's kind of my inspiration a little bit for the Birmingham Maulers uniforms that we did in All-Pro Football 2K8. Because there's not a lot of teams now. Officially, they list it as black and brick, at least on Wikipedia here. Go look up the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs. And those colors, that's kind of what like I said, I designed that Maulers team off of. 'Cause you don't see those colors, that black and brown. It's not used in football as a color combo, but we did it. And it looks good. They got good looking uniforms. Off the net, and it's a touchdown for the Utah Blaze. So I'm sitting here, I've been trying to wind this game down, but they still got a lot of life to them. There's a picture of Tommy Grady in Oklahoma City Yard Dog uniform. We got fighting going out now. How's that not a unsportsmanlike conduct? Now there's no timeouts left for the Blaze, so they got to hurry up and try to get this kick. Again, that is a unfortunate side of this game that was programmed incorrectly. So with 1 second, but either way, they were going to be down by 2 scores nonetheless, and they're not even going to try the onside kick. So either way, it would have been a fool's gold to try to make that comeback happen. But with that, we are going to move to 8-0 on the year. Damian Grosh just said, "Put me down." And it's another win for the Grand Rapids Rampage. But it was a more competitive game than we are used to seeing here in our Arena Football series this season. 63-51. 51, the most points scored on our team since week 1. Shane Stafford, your MVP once again. He threw the 1 interception. Other than that, though, pretty dominant. If you guys see the Curb Your Enthusiasm final season trailer, pretty good. I need to go watch that one again. Take a look at those Stafford stats. 249, 7 touchdowns. And we're going to look at all the scores and stats from the first half of the year. So stay tuned. Stay right where you are. Okay, here are your scores for week number 8, 63-51. The Rampage moved to 8-0. The Nashville Cats finally break the losing streak. They put up 55. We got the Chicago Rush coming up next. They're 2-6. That could be an ugly one. The Gladiators, they answer back after getting beat up by our Rampage. They win 51-37. Sabercats in an Arena Bowl rematch. I think people probably figured week 8, a Arena Bowl rematch from last season was going to be more, a lot more on the line. But there's still 2 playoff teams, so a lot can happen there. But there's your victory. The Destroyers as well, also breaking out of the losing streak. A lot of 55s on the scoreboard here this week in Arena Football. The Tampa Bay Storm just coming up short, losing to the New York Dragons by 1. The Austin Wranglers, 65 points on the New Orleans Voodoo. we have the Predators hanging on in a low-scoring battle. So we have two 8-0 teams in arena football. And actually, that was a pretty competitive game because that was 7-0 versus 5-2. So we had two kind of game of the weeks this week in arena football. And then the Crush, 68 points over the LA Avengers. Was that the most? What did we score? We scored, yeah, that was the most. So 68 for the LA Avengers. So what we are going to do, we're going to end this episode here. But come on back because we are going to look at the first half stats and standings and get you all set up for the second half of arena football. Don't go anywhere.